Hi guys, Angshus here, otherwise known as the OCD guy. I'm here to do a video based on what I think is an incredibly important issue, or we could say various issues, and it's based on what I believe, my own personal opinion, to be potentially the biggest crime on the planet. And like I say, this is my own personal opinion, and that is all in terms of myself. I personally believe the biggest crime I can commit on the planet, and most people think it would be murder, but I believe the biggest crime I could commit as a person on this planet is to fail as a parent. Because if you have a look at just about every single problem that's occurred with any individual on the earth, quite often it comes back to problems as a child, potentially through parenting and trauma and PTSD and incredible amounts of anxiety, etc., etc. Now, I do not for a minute pretend to be someone that has been an angel. I made every mistake in the book growing up, and I could potentially have made every mistake when it came to my son. By the skin of my teeth, I managed to get my act together, get rid of all the trouble in my life. And I'm not talking criminal, I'm just saying issues that I had through OCD, and really bad choices, and it was all my responsibility. I managed to get my act together, and I've been fortunate enough to end up with a beautiful son. And I will say he's beautiful because he's mine, but he's also, he's not bad looking at all. In fact, probably a chick magnet, but anyway. Getting past that, I ended up with a beautiful son, and fortunately, he's making all the right choices. He likes the gym. He likes to work like a dog, holding down like 2 jobs and going to school. Now, I have had to get on his back this weekend because his schooling had dropped a bit and I was getting messages from the teacher. So I basically told him, look mate, you just bought this new car, which is just incredible, just amazing. He literally busted his bum for 6 months, saved 8 grand and bought an incredible car. I'm not going to say what the car is, but it's just incredible. But I basically said, you fix your schooling because Dad's getting really tired of getting endless emails from the teachers about unsubmitted work or lack of attendance. You fix it, or you're going to come home and find 3 wheels on your car instead of 4, and Dad's going to borrow one for a while. So, moving forward, what are we hearing about all the time? All the time. Youth crime. Youth crime, machete crime, youth breaking into houses, youth home invasions, stealing cars, stealing from vape stores, stealing from cigarette stores, stealing from alcohol stores. Now, I'm sorry, but there's a couple of issues here. Number one, we're hearing over and over and over again, youths get arrested, they go into the lockup, face the court, and get sent straight out on bail and back out on the street. So we've obviously got a cycle going on here that doesn't work. I mean, at the end of the day, the kids out there who are committing the crimes, the first issue that comes to my mind is, where are the parents? Why aren't we talking about the parents? I mean, I heard a guy that specialised in dog training, and he said, and it took me a while pondering about the situation, he said there's no such thing as a bad dog. What does that mean? That means that the buck stops with the owner. Now, same similarity or correlation can be made to a parent and a child. If you've got a child that's committing a lot of crime, let's go back to the initial point, which is a chicken or the egg scenario. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Every time you hear about youths on the street at 2 o'clock in the morning, first thought that comes to my mind is, where are the parents? Where are the parents? Where are the parents? Where are the parents? But all we hear about on the news or any current affair show, or I should say current affairs show, or any show, I'm not trying to name any shows, I'm just saying anything relating to current issues, you always hear about the judicial system that's failing and the kids out in the street that know they're going to get back out in the street and they're going to repeat the cycle of what they're already doing. So there's a couple of issues at hand. We've got a judicial system that is not working. It's not working. But we've got another issue. We've got kids that are not getting leadership by parents, and mostly they're not getting the love that they need. Now, any youngster or adolescent or kid out there that's hearing this might go, listen to this tool. Listen to this tool. He thinks we need love. Well, you might think I'm a tool, but I don't really care, because when you're an adult or when you turn middle age, you look back and you think, God, what's one of the most important things in the world? The most important thing in the world. One of the most important things in the world is love. Why do kids commit crimes? Because they want to associate themselves with a family type environment that they may not have, but they've chosen sometimes the wrong people to associate with, but really they're seeking love, but they might not know it. If it's not love, they might want to seek camaraderie or just fellow association. But unfortunately, kids need guidance. Kids need hard rules. They will need boundaries. Kids want boundaries. Now, moving forward, we've been hearing for years and years and years and years that the judicial system does not work. Well, why is it taking us decades to fix the judicial system? They fixed it in New Zealand. I mean, are we going to sit here in 20 years' time and say our judicial system doesn't work? I'm not educated enough to know why we can't fix our judicial system, but I'm sorry, I used to think everything was so complicated on this planet, and it's not. Everything's just really simple. Quite often, the cause or the problem to start with is really simple. The effect or the symptoms are then complicated. Now, let's fix the cause. Let's fix the initial problem. We have a judicial system that's not working. Now, I'm not saying for a minute, lock these kids up and throw away the key. No, give them love, give them support. Put them into situations where they can get training. I mean, God, like, we had a perfect example of a politician with a child with issues, and look at him now. He's flourishing. We know who he is. I don't need to mention her name. We don't need to mention his name. But he had a drug issue, and now he is flourishing. And his mother was brilliant. She guided him. She was firm with him. And now he looks back at his mum, and he's probably damn well thankful. And it's just so simple. Let's fix the judicial system, not to throw away the key and lock them up, but to put into programs where they can get training, because every time these programs have shown that they work. I mean, give these kids skills, give them motivation, give them encouragement, give them inclination. Let them feel, inspired. Let them feel motivated. Let them feel good about themselves. I mean, ask the kid, if we could give you some funding, what would you really like to do? They might say, oh, look, I'd like to know how to do something mechanical. They're bored. So what happens when you're bored? You end up doing drugs. You end up gambling, depending on how old you are. You go down all the wrong roads. I mean, these kids just need support. They need support, they need encouragement, and they need leadership. And most of all, we need a legal system that's gonna work. I mean, it's okay. It is okay to actually come out and say, this didn't work, we're gonna scrap it, and we're gonna start all over again. I wish the politicians would do it themselves. But at the end of the day, we can have a problem that gets bigger and bigger and bigger, or we can fix it. I mean, chucking kids in jail is not the answer. And let's start holding parents accountable. Because the biggest crime I believe we can commit on this earth, my own personal opinion, or the biggest crime I feel I can commit, is to fail as a parent. Because, like I said, I've already said it, everything seems to stem from bad parenting and kids with issues in childhood that then grew up. Because what's the worst situation? Generational problems that go on through the generation and the generation and the generation and the generation. Now, I want to be optimistic. Let's look after these kids, let's support them, let's show them love, let's set up real programs that give them an opportunity to get inspired, to get excited, to get endorphins, to get dopamine hits, and not through drugs, not through alcohol, not through gambling, but through real life energy, positive energy and excitement, where they can get excited about doing something that would give them a sense of achievement and the thrill that's actually legal. And then what's going to happen is they're going to realise, oh wow, this worked for me, and maybe, just maybe, I'll pay it forward. Let's do something about the situation. Let's head for a brighter future. And on that note, you have a great day, depending on who you are. And let's like each other. Let's support each other. There's a lot of dog-eat-dog out there in the world. We're better off to just look after each other. Have a great day. My name's Angshus. I'm the OCD guy. Thank you.